TRACEABILITY Studio offers three different means of analyzing suspect links. So suspect link is a means of react to changes in requirements or changes in whatever other item that is connected in TRACEABILITY Studio. So in this case, for this module, there are two documents connected. The source is representing just the main goals of the project within a Word document, while the target is a series of stakeholder requirements represented in an Excel worksheet. So let's assume some changes in the source, some changes in the goal document. Let me open now the statement of work where I have all these goals. So this is my Word document. By means of parsing rule, we have just gone through the document just to focus on these six requirements. So six goals. Let's do some changes in here. So for goal number one, instead of just hardware and software, we will also focus on firmware, for instance. Then this will be a meaningful change. So changing this is broadening the scope of my requirement. However, let's now make a couple of other changes that are meaningless changes. Okay. So I replace the acronym temp by temperature. And I don't like to write in this way. I don't like the idea of should be capable of. I prefer shall, and let's assume that combat is a better word or verb instead of fight. And then let's also add yet a final seventh goal to the list, right? So four main changes. This is widening the scope. This is not changing the scope. This is not changing the scope, and of course this is a new goal, right? So I save my document, and I go back to TRACEABILITY Studio, right? So you just click on evaluate suspect links, and in a matter of some few seconds, the tool is reanalyzing the actual meaning of each of the requirements. And now, as you can see, the only requirement that is identified as suspicious is this one, requirement goal number one, right? Because of the change of including firmware. While you can see like the tool has taken the change in the temperature by the temp, the acronym by temperature, but this is not a meaningful change, and also the change in shall be capable of fighting by shall combat. But these are not meaningful changes. The meaningful change is just this one. So these are the 25 traces that are considered as suspicious, and now of course you can now decide whether or not each of these individual link is suspicious or not, but at least the tool has identified only those that represented meaningful changes. In the configuration of the module, by the way, you can establish what is the mechanism you want to follow to identify suspect links. You can just make a link identified as suspicious just because the last modification date of either the source or the target has been modified, or you can just focus on whatever change in the text, in the main text of your items. But remember that a change in just changing temp by temperature could be or should or will be considered as a suspicious link if you check this box, or if you just want to rely on semantic changes, then tick this box so that you can get the result that I have gotten. Only meaningful changes are represented.